Amazing. So listen, if you want to overcome being a pitiful person, you got to overcome your state of being. Everybody's in a wrong state of being. Anyone that, and I'm throwing out a few, but that whole truckload of examples of what a pitiful person is. Anyone that gets sad is a pitiful person. Anyone that gets glad is a pitiful person. Anyone that gossip or listen to gossip, because you're up and down, right, it's time. If you're going to gossip, you're going to listen to it, right? You're a pitiful person. Anyone that, when you're going through a situation, when situations are happening, and you're overreacting to the situation, you're a pitiful person. And the reason you're pitiful in that, because you think it's happening to you, and it's not. So you're overreacting to it. Anyone that think that they're good or bad is a pitiful person. Anyone think that they have done good. Sorry, Joel. I didn't know you were going to use this one. Anyone who think they have done good or bad is a pitiful person. Anyone that is shy or pretend not to be shy, or anyone that put up a front, pretend they know what they don't know, is a pitiful person. Anyone that have fear and doubt and loneliness and looking on the outside for any peace at all is a pitiful person. And I could go on and on. If you think that you're trying to be someone, you're a pitiful person, because you got to think that you're not someone in order to try to be someone. You're a pitiful person. Anyone that tries to get love or anything from anyone else is a pitiful person. And what it is, once the light comes into your heart, and it does when you truly see that you're wrong for being angry, because no one has a right to judge anybody, to be mad at anyone about anything at any time. And I don't care what happened. You could be raped 24 hours a day. Your wife can rape you before she go to work and tell you, don't move. I'm coming back here for lunch and rape you again. And don't call the cops. And I'm coming back here and rape you again. And if you're crying and she slap you, what you crying for? Shut up crying, I'm gonna rape you again. You still don't have a right to be mad. You don't have a right to be mad. When you join teams, you're a pitiful person. Like the war that's happening right now, and you join the side, you know how these people fight one another? They have divided up, and they have no clue as to why they're fighting each other. But they're personally attacking each other on both sides. They're pitiful people. Because they, in all honesty, they don't really know who's controlling this thing. They don't really know what it's all about. And they just listen to the media and to what somebody else says. You're a pitiful person. When you can't admit to yourself, I don't know, and leave it a blank, you're a pitiful person. You're a pitiful person. Because the devil doesn't want you to have a blank space there. He wants to fill it in. And he'll fill it in. And you think, and then you go out there giving all the answers, and they're wrong. It's the same way, and you can watch this, it's the same way as when you know the truth, you hear about the truth. Now you're out there just saying the truth, because the devil tells you right away, oh, I know, I'm going to get out there and tell everybody now. I'm going to be the smartest one in the room. I'm going to puff up and say, hey, you got to forgive your mama. You're a pitiful person. When you don't allow someone else to be wrong, you're a pitiful person. When you think you're poor or you think you're rich, because you can't have one without the other, you're a pitiful person. And so what has to happen, as I was saying, the light come into your heart, and the light will destroy that abnormal nature that you guys were talking about earlier, that abnormal nature which is not you. It will destroy all thoughts and all emotions, because all thoughts and all emotions is of the devil. They've never been of you. They're not of you. And it is the way the world operates. So that's why once you overcome that, you're in the world but not of it, and you stop operating like the world. You're in it, and so whatever is happening out there in the world, you will be able to see the news, you will hear about it, but it wouldn't bother you at all, not even your thoughts or emotions, because you're not a part of it anymore. You're not going to be in a rush. Oh, Lord, economy is bad. I'm scared. I got to get out of here. Because when you're running, what you're running from is with you. And you can move to anywhere. I'm not telling you not to move. There's a practical way of doing that. But you can go anywhere and still be afraid because it's inside of you. This pitiful nature, this pitiful state of being is inside of you. That's why when you get the light, you let go so the light can destroy your state of being. And all these states have to die. And there are bucket loads of them. That's why when you're afraid to face your fear, a lot of times most people are afraid to face their mothers, but if you notice when you face it anyway, that state dies. It dies because you have faced it. And so you have to face it within yourself no matter what it is. Whoever told you got to be something, they lied to you. And don't be afraid to face that so it can disappear. And you would never try to be anything. And when you don't try to be anything, that's where you are. And in that state, there is no thinking about, how am I? Am I this? Am I that? I'm a Christian. I'm this and I'm that. And I'm spiritual. I'm this. There is no thinking about it at all. All thinking erases. Because the mind cannot conceive the things of God. Only understanding comes from God. The mind has no understanding. Zero understanding. That's why he said, bring all these thoughts into captivity, and these thoughts run deep. There are layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of them, and that's why you have to stay present. Your only job is to stay present, and that's where everything is. The kingdom of heaven is in the present. It's not in the past. It's not in the future. It's right here, right now. The Christians are literally waiting for Jesus to return. They're waiting for whatever the Revelation says. And they don't know. Christ said it's already done. It's already happened. Revelation is happening out there in the world already. Look how the world treats each other. That's revelation. But it doesn't have to be for you. It doesn't have to be for you. And so it's these states of being that you have to overcome. But you can't overcome it. Then God will give you a new state of being, which is his nature, which is his light. And in his light, there is no thinking. Practical thoughts only, and that's it. You just become a living being. And in being a living being, you don't have to think about it. And if you tell yourself, oh, I'm just a living being, you're not. Because you're thinking about being a living being. I'm going to tell somebody I'm a living being. That makes sense? Yeah. I want you all to understand that until you wake up, you've been living nothing but death. You were never alive. And I want you to understand clearly, I don't care what you have done, how bad you think it is, how long ago that it happened, when it happened, if it was 50 years ago, or if it was last night. You are not guilty of anything that has ever happened, that you've ever done. And if you know that you would do them and then Satan tell you how bad you are, you're just a bad person. You're a thief. You are a this and you are a that. No, you're not. That's not God telling you that. Because up here, the real you're not doing anything. You're just living up here. You just don't know it until you come back, until this disappears and you become one with here. And it's a perfect way of living. But you got to stay with it. You got to work on it. You got to stay with it. You got to work on it. You got to, and when I say work on it, see what's going on with you. Just see what's going on. Don't be afraid to let things out here happen. If somebody don't like you, fine. see how you feel about them not liking you. You know what I'm saying? If your wife or your husband want to leave, don't be like, oh, please don't go. Please don't go. I'll be lonely. Don't go. I need you. You need to take a moment and look how you're feeling about this person leaving you or cheating on you or whatever. And if you are feeling something, that's something you need to overcome. That's a wrong state of being. And if you could just see it and let it die, you'll be free from that. And if the person left or stayed, it wouldn't move you either way. If they stay, you wouldn't have to be nice. If they're going to leave, you wouldn't have to be nice to try to keep them. If you lose all your children, somebody mentioned Job. If you lose all your children, all your cattle in the land, it wouldn't bother you at all because you know God is with you. And He is allowing this to happen. But if you're freaking out about it, you're in the wrong state of being. That makes sense a little bit? So stop letting Satan tell you you're guilty. You're not guilty. You're not a sinner. Your only issue was you were unwilling to forgive and you loved playing God. As long as you play God, you will never know God. But once you forgive, seeing that you're wrong, you have to confess your sin. The salvation is of the heart. So let me do this fast. We got 10 minutes. Comment on what I just said.
Which part?
Any part of it. How do you see what I just said? What do you understand from that? Above all things, get an understanding. You don't want to intellectually know, except for practice thing, but you don't want to, you want the intellect to die. I had a lady that texted me or emailed me, however she got to me, and she said that she is a psychologist and that she has a PhD in psychiatry and psychology kind of thing. And she's been around the world. She's been helping everybody. She know a whole bunch of other, and nobody know what they're doing. And it wasn't until she heard me speak the truth that it made sense to her. She said, these people got these degrees, they don't help at all. They're lost themselves. Because wisdom only comes from God. You want an understanding. But anyway, did you get anything from that, or anything that you disagree with?
I wouldn't say disagree. I just questions pop up.
One question, real fast.
Like, how is being... I guess the first thing is the word pitiful sounds like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I agree with that 100%. Like, pride to me is, that is what keeps me from God. So if being pitiful...
But a pitiful person is a prideful person. Oh, look at poor me. I'm scared. I'm lonely. I'm this and I'm that. I'm no good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I deserve it. I deserve love. I deserve this and that. That's a pitiful person.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I get that. I do get that. I do. The part where you said the word glad, and that part, I don't know the exact question I'm trying to ask, just that being glad seems like a good thing.
Anything that comes from idea is not a good thing. Glad comes from an idea. She made me feel glad, or the money made me feel glad, or the job made me feel glad, or I looked in the mirror and I felt glad. It's an idea. There's a perfect happiness that comes with perfect peace, and it's not based on anything outwardly. Not at all. It just is. When all these state of being disappear, and after they're disappeared, you're going to want more of them to go. You're going to be happy to see what's bothering you so you can overcome it.
I'll be glad to see that falling away.
I'm sorry?
I'll be glad that it's falling away.
Yeah, but not with the thought
I'm just
glad.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Amazing.